welcome back to Untamed and Unapologetic. I am your host, Jeanette Lira, and today we're going to talk about something that is very important to me, something that I learned about 6 years ago, and I use every single year like clockwork. Because what if I told you that if you took the time to plan out your year, that could be the difference between being mediocre and being great. I'm going to tell you how it changed me from being the person I was 7 years ago to becoming the person I am today. It was introduced to me by Patrick Bet-David. If you've never heard of the guy, go and Google him. He's got a great YouTube channel with tons of information for everybody, especially if you're a business owner. But one thing that I always remember that really sticks with me is his one-page business plan, because it's easy, it's simple, there's no excuses. You can get it knocked out in an hour or less. If you want to spend more time on it, great, but it's not necessary. So I'm going to share with you the key that helped me step into the identity that I needed to be successful in all the areas of life that I've had success in. I'm super excited to share this with you. At the end, you'll get a link to download your own copy of it, and you'll be able to create your own action plan or life plan or business plan or whatever you want to call it, so that you can step into the identity that is going to serve you for the year that's coming in front of us. So let's get started. The first part of the plan is to reflect. We're going to sit with our entire year from January to the last day of December, and we are going to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Why is that so important though? The reason why it's important is because we have been through so much in the past 12 months, but when you don't stop and take the time to look at what you've been through, you don't remember the lessons, you don't see the new patterns, you don't take all of that information that you were blessed to receive and put it into practical use so that you don't fail or so that you can continue to move forward. So this is the biggest piece of the one-page plan, is reflecting on what has happened before. So what I typically do is I sit down with my one-page plan and I go through all the different categories. You can rename them to fit whatever you need to fit, but I review my finances, my relationships, my business or career, my health, my overall health, and my personal growth, and my spirituality or my faith. Those are the 6 categories that I look into my life and I see, where did I win? Where did I lose? And where did I completely fail and fall on my face? I write down all of those things in all of those categories, because you're going to take all that information and put it in the next half of this sheet to create a plan for you to be successful next year. What I do with the review of 2024, I'm going to take my plan for last year and I'm going to look at it and I'm going to go through my photo roll. I'm going to go through my calendar and I'm going to go through the financial, the relationship, the business, the health, the personal growth, and the spirituality. And I'm just going to check off the things that I did accomplish from my new goal, and I'm going to check off the stuff and list them as the losses of the things that I did not do or I did not accomplish. And so that is going to be how I'm going to review and write the new stuff in the next plan. So this is kind of what it looks like right there. And after you do your review, you're going to go into your life plan for the next year by creating 3 goals and 3 new habits to make sure that you are successful in your year of, last year was organization, This year, I believe I'm going to be titling my year the year of empowerment. So I'm going to always go back to that word to bring me back like an anchor so that I can always come back to my plan and my goals and my habits so I can implement them and be successful. So once we are done reviewing our year, we're going to come back and actually start to plan it. We are going to lay down the steps, the framework to be successful. We are going to start with our finances. What are some goals that we want to accomplish in the next year ahead of us? What are the habits that we need to create in order to achieve those goals? We're going to pick 3 goals with 3 habits that are going to get us closer to achieving each goal. We're going to do that for not only financial, but our relationships, our family, our career and our business, our health, our personal growth, and our spirituality and faith. Prior to me adopting this into my life on a yearly basis, I used to have resolutions. Remember those? New Year's resolutions. New year, new me. I'm ready. And you get all excited. You get like geared up, ready to accomplish everything and conquer the world. And you get started, and within 4 to 8 weeks in, people start falling off, right? The gyms are full. Everyone's like doing their best life, living their best life. And then all of a sudden, people hit a wall or people fall. And the reason why people fall and hit that wall is because life happens. When life happens, it creates chaos and that feeling of being overwhelmed. When you have chaos and overwhelm, everything that you said you were going to do kind of just like goes out the window because you revert back to comfort. You revert back to, I'll get it done later. You revert back to saying, oh, I'm going to try to go to the gym instead of I'm going to the gym. So when those things happen, what happens to your goals? What happens to all the things you said that you were going to accomplish? They stop with you. And so what this has done for me has allowed me to create momentum at the beginning of the year, but also sustain that momentum. Because with this plan, you're not only creating the goals that you want to achieve, but you're creating the habits and the steps that you need to achieve the goals. So it breaks it down a lot further for you, which makes it so much more attainable and sustainable. When you hit the wall, because we all hit the wall, chaos and overwhelm happen to every single one of us because we are human. But when we hit the wall and we have an actual plan, we do things a little bit differently. Because after I'm done filling this out for this next year coming up, for this year coming up in front of us, I'm going to post it right back there or right back here. I can't tell what my camera is right there behind me. And I'm going to look at it every single day. I'm going to be reminded that, Jeanette, this is what you said that you were going to do. This is the identity that you are going to step into this year. I am stepping into empowerment this year. And empowerment is going to lead me to accomplish all the things that I put in my 1-page life plan. So that is the extra step that I was missing when I just used to do the New Year's resolution. I would start strong, right? I'd write it in my planner. I'm like, let's go. And then all of a sudden, chaos happened and I'd hit the wall and I'd go right back into the same, I'm tired, I'll do it later, and I would never accomplish the thing that I wanted to do. So I highly encourage and I challenge you to take this 1-page life plan and put it into action. Because when we put things into action and we create that momentum, that movement, we have nowhere else to go but forward. When momentum and movement starts, it has to go forward. But when there's no momentum and there's just talk and ideas and creativity and nothing really put in place to say that this is a plan that's going to happen, this is who I am now, this is my new lifestyle, this is my new identity, when that isn't there, we fall short. And that's what I realized over the years. So I'm so grateful that my son's father introduced me to Patrick Bet-David, because that is what I needed to get my booty in gear and light the fire under my butt, or whatever you want to call it. It pushed me to another level that got me into a place where I could accomplish anything that I said I was going to do. And from that moment on, everything I said I was going to do, I accomplished times 10. And I'm going to continue to do that. So I encourage and I challenge everybody that's listening to do the same. And we all grow. And when we're growing together, so much more great happens in the world. So going back to creating the plan, we have it here. Now, what do you do once you get it here? You have all your goals, you have all your new habits. How do you implement them and make them happen every single day? You give yourself grace. You're not going to have a financial goal, maybe of reaching, I don't know, $1 billion in 1 year. Is it possible? Yes. But if you make $60,000 a year, to jump to $60,000 a year to $1 billion a year, like, that takes a lot of work. It doesn't happen overnight for the majority of us. So create goals that are obtainable, and look at something that is going to be successful for you. So maybe it's creating a savings of $10,000, or maybe it's having a second job that's going to put money into that savings. Maybe it's just the new habit of checking your budget and following your budget so that you can get closer to stepping into that billionaire identity of yours. And reminding yourself that it only takes small little movements to create movement. And that's all we need to get from where we are to where we want to be. We need to move. And if we're moving, whether they're giant steps, like big ones, or whether they're tiny little itty bitty 2 millimeter shifts, however you want to look at it, as long as you're making movement, you're doing good. So when you're making these plans, be realistic with the current life that you have. And my challenge to you this week is for you to take advantage of this plan, just like I'm about to. Reevaluate your year. What were the good? What were the bad? What were the absolute fall on my face failures? What did I learn? What am I going to do different? And how am I going to implement that teaching that I received into my life permanently, so I don't keep on making the same mistake? Take time, sit with it. Sit with those big moments that you had in this past year, or in the year that we're currently in. Sit with those moments, look into them. What did I learn from them? What did I gain? And what am I taking with me into next year that's going to make me even better than what I was this year? So I challenge you to take the plan, which I'll give you a link so you can download it, or you can just write it out on a piece of paper, or you can put it into your computer and make your own and type it out like I did last year. Whatever is going to make you successful with it, do it, because this is the key to being great. instead of hitting the wall and staying stuck. Let's all be great together. See you next time.